because you know it's amazing.
Wow.
Hey, that's not bad, Sherwin. That's not bad, all right? But T-Lo, show Sherwin Hughes how it's really done.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, and Sherwin's impression may have been trash, but he's right. You can hear all our best interviews, Panthers basketball, and me bringing all the smoke by downloading the Truth app today in the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And why should they download the app, Benjamin?
You want to know why, T-Lo? You want to know why they should download the 101.7 The Truth app? Because it's amazing.
All your Stop touching that snooze button and get ready to clock in with the best morning show on planet Earth.
I want to try and beat them.
Okay.
Well, I don't necessarily want to beat you per se. I just want to be the best that I can be.
You know what it is, Truth Nation. It's time to wake up with Milwaukee's favorite morning show.
Don't allow 10 seconds to affect the next 10 years of your life.
Man.
You snapped off, and now you went from partying at the Kardashians to being in a cell 23 hours a day.
Giving you an informative dialogue with a side of fun and laughter while cutting through the noise and bringing you the real stories behind the headlines.
My point is, if you're 40 or if you're still trying to push for something, it doesn't mean that it's over just because it's been delayed. Delayed doesn't mean denied.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, this is Truth Be Told with two-time Emmy Award winner Telly Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming on YouTube.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Truth Be Told with Telly. It is Thursday, December 5th, 2024. We are live from the American Family Insurance Studio inside the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. It is Friday, Junior, and we have none other than Bailey Coleman in the building. Good morning, Bailey.
Good morning, Telly. How are you?
I am good. I don't know why I'm feeling so good this morning, but I ain't going to hate on it. We also have Jay English in the building. Good morning, Jay.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. And also Ricky, what's up? What's up? DJ Ricky on the ones and twos.
Good morning, Telly.
Hey, I tell you what, this is my first time. We ain't going to even fake front or stunt on the show. We always keep it 101.7 The Truth. And this is my first time working with Jay. So, Jay, I want to get to know you a little bit.
Hey, man, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, and for Truth Nation, who has been rocking with Truth Be Told with Telly for the past over a year and a half now. I mean, you know, when we have someone new, we want to welcome and we want to get to know you a little bit. So tell us a little bit about Jay English, other than I found out that you were a pastor, and thankfully I ain't, you know, you ain't caught me 5 years ago. I would have rolled up in here smelling like something, and you know, no, I'm just kidding.
Look, man, you caught any of us a few years back. Hey, man, I'm glad to be here. Thankful to have this opportunity to hang out with you two. Lived out here in Milwaukee from 2014 to 2020. Had a great time doing a lot of community outreach. My wife and I actually started a nonprofit called Plain English, dealing with racism and culture and trying to help resolve some of the issues because Milwaukee had such a huge amount of segregation. Mm-hmm. We saw a lot of problems. Still does, man. Number one most segregated city.
Yeah.
So just that's some of the stuff that we love to do, getting involved in conversations, trying to help the community, trying to see young people reach their dreams. Those are all things that I love. And then getting an opportunity to, to argue and to talk and to laugh and talk about the crazy stuff going on in the world. That's what I love to do.
Nice. Now, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and we love to talk about it, don't we, baby?
You know we do.
Now, the first thing I'm going to say is I only have 4 words for how cold it is outside.
Oh.
Disrespectful. It is so disrespectful outside.
Really
I'm telling you all,
it really is.
If you're just getting up, it is cold. Make sure you bundle up. And also, check on your neighbors because there's been some complaints about there's been some heating issues, and there's been people that have been coming out from the Department of Neighborhoods that have been trying to fix these heating units, and this is not the day for it to go out. But not only make sure you take care of yourself, but make sure you check on your neighbors and make sure that they are fine as well, because no one should be without heat on a day like this. There are heating centers around the city of Milwaukee. So if they aren't able to have some place where they can receive or get some heat, there are places that you can go and get heat, because this is a day that you are definitely going to need it, because it is disrespectful.
Well, let me just tell you something, Telly. You know, there are people here in Wisconsin, I talk about it on my Facebook page all the time, that keep the heat off.
Yeah, you don't want to do that now.
They crazy.
Just an alert.
You don't want to do that now.
My
Turn the
house
heat
stay
on.
at 74 degrees.
There you go. Exactly.
My wife
Turn
be
the heat
mad.
on.
She be mad. But I'm like, turn it back up.
Because I don't believe in being cold. I don't believe in it.
I'm telling you, this is not the day where you want to be. I mean, people like to call it politically correct, frugal, but in these days we could say whatever. Stop being cheap.
Yeah.
Turn your heat up.
Come on. Hey, come here. Got a plan for that. Put me on a payment plan to turn my heat up to 75. Thank you.
Right. So again, Truth Nation, Milwaukee, make sure that you not only keep yourself in a heated environment or building or house, make sure you check on your neighbors to make sure they are fine as well. But Jay, you were talking about like a lot of crazy stuff and you like to debate. And how crazy was it that the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, was assassinated pretty much in broad daylight in Manhattan?
It was like watching a movie. I felt like it wasn't real. It looked like some John Wick type stuff. Like,
yeah,
bro, just standing there waiting for him, I guess, for a long time, and we literally saw a live assassination, which is so crazy. I don't know, man. Like, somebody paid a lot of money and got a professional to take him out.
Yeah. And, you know, what is funny? I'm looking at an article on CNN, and it was just 1 minute ago. This bounty hunter says the United Healthcare CEO gunman, this is not a professional killer. That looked pretty professional to me.
I know.
He looked real professional.
I mean,
I was on a Reddit page last night, and they were saying even with him racking the gun over and over was because he used a smaller type of round that doesn't have enough force to rack the gun itself, so it will make less noise even with the silencer.
What,
like that's the stuff.
I don't even I don't know nothing about that. And what you just said,
exactly.
You got to know a little something about guns to you know, execute something like that.
Exactly.
But Bailey, you said something about that you know, I think you're not the only person that feels this way.
You know what? I think there's going to be more things like that happening.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. They're getting rid of all the norms, they say, when they come into office. There's a lot of things that they're going to do. People going to feel like, well, if you could do it, I could do it too.
Man, oh man.
You know what I mean?
That's tough. That's tough. Because, I mean, again, you have to look at who this person was. It wasn't just an employee of United Healthcare.
Right.
And you found out this morning what about United Healthcare, Bailey?
That they are the largest medical insurance company in the country.
So the largest health provider in the United States, the person that's over this gets assassinated in Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think there's nothing else behind this?
Come on, man. There's no way.
Oh, no. They were definitely on TV saying that this was a planned thing, that this was like a setup. This was like... And then his wife said he had been getting threats, but nothing that was like, you know, he didn't take it seriously. Obviously, he didn't have any kind of security with him, right?
Yeah. You would think if you're getting threats, and I'm reading 3 bullet points, and one of them, they're saying that the shooter's motive is unclear, but a source told CNN that United Healthcare's parent company, America's largest insurance company, was aware of concerning threats against its high-level executives. So that's with an S. So
Right.
he wasn't the only one.
He wasn't the only one.
Right.
That
the
we're
rest of them need to
getting-
be on like guard.
Yeah.
That's
If
crazy.
they didn't have security, they need to get it now.
I would think he probably gets a lot of threats, though. Like, you think of it from a healthcare standpoint, people's families are dying, folks are having claims denied. He probably get a lot of stuff. But whatever
Wow.
this was, this seemed like something totally different.
Yeah. And so now these CEOs of these healthcare providers are boosting up their security now. But again, like you said, they are in. That was one of the major topics during this political campaign. And we know how heated and how emotional and how people just sided on one side or the other during this presidential cycle. And so if you are already getting threats and you know the climate of our world, our society now, wouldn't you just do that just out of precaution anyway? Because after all, I'm sure it wouldn't have come out of your pocket to get more security if I'm these CEOs. But I would be at high alert for a lot of things because of who is our president-elect. Because a lot of things are about to change.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not going to be for the better.
No.
And so he's coming in with his clan, his crew, his loyalists, his posse, whatever you want to call it, and he's going to implement everything that he wants to implement.
Yeah.
Yep.
And even though he has concepts of a healthcare plan, he has concepts.
You can bring that up. I got a sketch.
He doesn't have one. That's all I'm trying to get at. And so you're trying to eliminate something before even having something else in place. That's like the Dallas Cowboys firing Mike McCarthy, but say, we don't have a coach yet that we want to name as the head coach, but we just going to fire them right now. That's exactly what Donald J. Trump wants to do with our health care. But I just feel like, and we don't know what ties there are between politics and this murder, but I have a feeling that there's some sort of connection.
I think so, too.
There has to be.
Yeah, they're going to dig into this and find out.
We'll
a bunch of
find
stuff.
out.
Man, oh man.
It's going to come out.
It's definitely going to come out. But we got a great show in store for you, Truth Nation, and we always love when you engage and participate. So you could do that by hitting us up on our True Talking text line, 833-212-1017. And you can always stream and watch us live on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. And Bailey, you sent over some interesting things last night when we were doing our show prep, and one of them has to do with black women say they are stepping back. What do they mean by that? We're going to dive in that on the other side of the break, and we also going to get into the narrative of the black men. Now, I know I mentioned it yesterday about black men being really put on the forefront during the presidential election. And then now you have to figure out, okay, how or what's the narrative now? Because there were a lot of black men that ended up not voting for Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. And there are people that want to know what is going on, what is the new narrative behind black men, and we're going to get into that as well. A very interesting discussion that was had, and we're going to have audio from that. So keep it locked right here on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey Coleman, Jay English in the building. We'll hit those hot topics on the other side of the break.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and see this wonderful smile live every day.
What are some of the things that we need to really focus on to get our fair share of these opportunities, i.e. access to capital?
You know, it's very important to always think about building a strong business plan, understanding the financial parameters around what you're trying to accomplish, building great networks and great relationships so you can have partnerships and building out your dream. And then finding a good financial partner like Old National to help really orchestrate your vision of the organization. And then, as you know, DT, you wouldn't be where you're at because you're phenomenal, doing great work. And then you have to really have to go to work. If you have that dream, you have that vision, the business plan, the financial piece, then you have to really work at it and keep building.
Learn more about the Old National Bank Small Business Empowerment Loan by visiting oldnational.com/small business or contact a small business banker at Old National Bank.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven Center for Home Care, a successful Center for Employment, a Center for Trauma Recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ricky, what is that? What song is that?
That is Roxanne Shante, Big Mama.
Oh, man. I forgot. Yeah, Ricky has the oldest soul for the youngest person I've ever seen in my life, man.
I'm a music lover, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I'm older than him, and I ain't even know what that was. I'm like, man, what is that? What is that?
Check out your Spotify list, Ricky.
The man. Well, if you stick around long enough, you'll see.
Come on.
He a Parliament type of guy.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Parliament, Funkadelic.
Yeah.
Wind and Fire, Hat Band, okay.
Well, Truth Nation, the award-winning 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Milwaukee Panthers basketball. The Panthers open up Horizon League Conference play tonight as they host the Cleveland State Vikings at UWM Panthers Arena. Scott Warris has the cover starting at 6:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. Man, I am so glad we got that fixed because it just kept saying 6:30 a.m. and I'm like, there is no game that these kids are going to play in that starts at 6 a.m. So glad 6 p.m. tonight's first conference game, UWM versus Cleveland State.
Nice.
Yes. Now, Bailey, we were before the break, we were talking about some of the topics that we wanted to touch on tonight, and
Today, this morning.
Yeah, tonight. See, look at me. I'm talking about other folks, and I said I was up this morning, right?
Exactly. It's early. It's early.
Hey, it's early every day. You know, it's 7:18 come around at 7:18 every day.
There you go.
But no, you constantly say you are in the 92%.
92%.
Yeah, and what are you referring to when you say 92%?
The 92% of black women who voted for Vice President Kamala Harris to be president.
Yes, and
92% of black women.
Man, oh man, and so. The 92% of the black women that voted for Madam Vice President Kamala Harris is feeling betrayed.
Absolutely.
She said that passionately,
yes,
too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So please, dive in.
I mean,
why are you feeling so betrayed?
Well, here's the deal. Now, I speak for myself, but I also know, the other 92, everybody else that's in that 92%, you feel betrayed because you've been here marching, volunteering, doing whatever you could do, even if it's talking to people and educating people, about, the political scene and where they should really, focus at. And, for example, a lot of black women, remember that march that happened in D.C. when Donald Trump first went into
2017.
office?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. We were actually talking about that yesterday.
A lot of black women there, a lot of black women, a lot of black female organizations partnered with other Caucasian organizations to make that happen. At this point, this isn't the first time that we've been disappointed by the, what was it, 52% of white women voted for Donald Trump.
Wow.
So this is the first time we partnered and been disappointed. So at this point, they're always looking to black women for stuff. Black women say, I've heard it 100 times or more, that black women in Wisconsin, made it so that President Obama could get elected. They really went in for Kamala Harris, all this and that. And true enough. But we ain't here just for all that. We were disappointed with this, and as a result, we're tired of being looked at especially by the Democratic Party, to be the ones to come out and save everything.
Okay.
So, here's the thing. We just gonna sit back and relax these next 4 years.
I feel like they beat us both up, though. Like, I hear what you're saying about from the women's standpoint, but, we was talking about President Obama calling out the black men.
Yeah.
And saying we wasn't getting involved in voting for a sister.
Well, y'all wasn't, apparently.
Because Jay, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where I was going to take it after I give you this quote from the Los Angeles-based founder of the advocacy social media agency. Her name is Taja Smith. And the agency is called Get Social. And Smith says, it's like the people have spoken, and this is what America looks like. And there's not too much more fighting that you're going to be able to do without losing your own sanity.
There you go.
I agree.
Yeah. I agree. But does that, let's call it frustration at this point.
Yeah.
Does that frustration boil over to black men?
I think for some, yes, but I'm just speaking for the women.
No. I'm talking about for the women.
Are y'all frustrated with us?
Are y'all frustrated with black men because you don't feel like there were enough of black men that voted for Madam Vice President?
There's some frustration there too, but I really think, on the end of women of color, the fact that all these Caucasian female organizations that wanted to partner with us, as what happened during women's suffrage, they got there and we were almost across the finish line, and they said, wait a minute, hold on, my husband said something. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Oh, Trump. Okay, I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, You there until you're not.
Well,
right?
There's a lot of blame that people can feel like going around right now because, yes,
I'm not ignoring what some of the brothers did. As far as voting for Trump, I just think, I think it was President Obama. He was out on the campaign trail. Why would you vote for somebody that don't like you? That does not have your best interest at heart? Someone that is so selfish that,
I think we've changed too, though. And like I hear what you're saying, and I understood what he was saying when he made those comments. The people that I talked to, specifically African Americans that voted for President-elect Trump, it wasn't that. Like, they get it. We know he racist. We know all this stuff about him. It is, I need more money in my pocket, and I believe he's going to be able to provide me a better way of living over these next 4 years. Like, I consistently get that.
You
it's
know
about
what?
business.
That's garbage.
It's about money.
Because he rode, if people did their homework, they would find out, right, that most of his administration, he rode on what President Obama did. Mm-hmm. People don't nobody's doing their homework to find that out.
Every president does that. Every president that comes in, they will ride the success of the predecessor and then say, hey, I did that.
But guess what? President Biden couldn't do that. Because we was in trash. We was in trash at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
We had the pandemic going on. Donald Trump did not even know how to get the drugs out to everybody during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Nor did he care.
Yeah. Well, he just, you could just drink bleach and you'd be all good. Let's go to our Truth Talk and text line. Mr. Wright, you are on Truth Be Told with Telly. Good morning. What's your question or comment?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, family. Good morning to all y'all over there at the Truth. Still my favorite station. Gonna stay my favorite station. I just wanted to speak my truth, man. And, it ain't the women that's the only one that's feeling some type of way. Me as a black brother, I'm feeling some type of way. I have friends who I had discussions with who said they were going to vote for the orange clown. And, man, I'm almost like lose my friendship. It's hard to maintain friendship with those brothers now, knowing that they was going to vote the way they voted. So I'm hurt. I'm like, it's just 4 years, though. That's how I kind of got to look at things. And, and that's why I was willing to get a sister a shot. Whatever happened, it would have been better than, what we going to get. Yeah. And I just didn't understand how brothers voted, man. And like I said, it hurt my heart that I know some friends that voted for this clown. And I'm almost willing to lose my friendship behind it, man. It's tough.
Oh, well, thank you for your call, Mr. Wright. And that is the effect that Donald Trump has had, where he is so divisive, he can divide friendships and families.
Yeah, families. Yes, are cutting each other off.
Yeah,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want nothing else to do with you. I can't believe you voted that direction.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, when non-black people voted for President Obama, I'm sure they caught some heat, but I'm sure it is not as much heat as a black person that is voting for Trump and the divisiveness that he brings along with his presidency. We saw it the first time. It wasn't a mistake that Charlottesville happened. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a mistake that so many other things happen under his presidency. And so for you to feel confident enough to want to elect this man another term, again, that's a decision that you have to live with. But
here's how I feel, honestly. For those that voted for him, may you reap what you just sowed.
She pulled the color purple till you do right by me.
Right.
No, this is true. If you feel like he was the only person that could get you across the finish line, and that's why you felt like you wanted to vote for him, you need to see what you just did, and you need to feel it. And you need to feel it like nobody else feels it.
Well, black women are already starting to say that they are going to pull back. Are black women going to pull back for the next 4? Are you 92%ers are pulling back the next 4 years?
Next 4. From now, we got 4 years.
Ooh,
got 4 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
We usually would step in. We're going to let y'all handle it.
All the way to 2028, huh?
2028. We're going to kick back. We're going to relax. We're going to stay hydrated.
Go stay hydrated.
We're going to stay hydrated. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to kick it. Don't be like, oh, not my business.
Do you feel there's more that, the Democrats could have done in light of what you're saying? Hey, I'm part of this 92%. Do you feel there's some onus on the Democratic convention side of who made the decisions and how things played out? Do you see any fault there?
Not necessarily the convention, but first of all, I have angst with them anyway, the way they did Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing. And then it just goes on from there. I think they made a bunch of dummy moves.
Gotcha.
And I don't feel like they ever really did what they needed to do to support Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff. You could just, hindsight is 20/20.
Well,
we go all day about
we are going to get into that bunch of stuff on the other side of the break. Keep it locked right here, Truth Nation, but also hit us up. Let us know your thoughts about this. 833-212-1017. Are you okay with black women taking a step back for the next 4 years? Because that's a long time, and I'm sure there's going to be some advocacy needed from black women between now and 2028, Bailey. But y'all going to be hydrated, though.
We're going to be hydrated. We're going to be minding our own business. We're going to be busy.
We're going to bring you some water. We're going to get you back in the
game. We're going to be busy.
Yeah, that's funny. Bailey Coleman, Jay English in the building. Keep it locked right here on Truth Be Told with Telly. More after this.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's almost Christmas, and Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive event is this Saturday in Grafton.
Come enjoy the holidays with us and WTMJ as we collect toys for families in need this season.
There will be musical performances and a fun tribute for those Zech County first responders.
And don't forget to bring toys.
Help us make a difference this Christmas. Visit kidstokidstoydrive.com.
See you this Saturday in Grafton.
Winter is here. Don't let your car care take a back seat. Protect your car against rust, salt, and grime this season at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with state-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and convenient unlimited wash memberships. Try their new best-in-class T2 with graphene wash for the ultimate long-lasting shine and protection. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
I want to stress the importance of a positive mindset. Everything begins as a thought before it ever becomes an action. So it's extremely important to purposely place yourself in positive spaces to help shape and nurture those thoughts. I know you're probably thinking, okay, Telly, let's be realistic. Look, I get it. You may work with people with bad energy, or you may even be related to people who are negative by nature. In this journey called life, there will be many things that come your way that's out of your control. But what you can control is how you respond. Understand this. You have the right to either tap in or tap out of whatever energy that may come your way. And that's how you can control and protect your positive spaces. The mind is where it all starts, and if your thoughts are centered around positivity, you'll see how things begin to transform. you will see a noticeable difference between things happening for you versus things always happening to you. You begin to grow through situations as opposed to just going through tough situations. Make it a priority to surround yourself with positive people and create those positive spaces and begin to experience the fruits of what a positive mindset can produce. Trust me, it takes work to creating these spaces, and you have to be intentional about it. And I'm committed to putting in the work because I'm living proof that it's well worth the peace a positive mindset brings.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to Truth Be Told with Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Northbound on 43. We had that earlier accident at Locust. That's been cleared, but we do have delays through that area, basically starting from the base of the high-rise bridge all the way through the Marquette up to Locust. Southbound 43 slowing down just before Capitol Drive down to Locust. We've got southbound 41 backing up right past Capitol Drive there, and then eastbound 94 starting to slow down just a bit between 76th Street and Hawley Road, a little bit through the Stadium interchange as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, windy, cold, high of 29. Tonight, partly cloudy and chilly, a low of 15. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey Coleman, Jay English in the building, and Truth Nation. It's cold out there.
Yes, it is.
Yes, that is not a news flash. It is cold. Make sure you warm your cars up.
Yep.
Make sure you check on your neighbors, check on your family. Make sure that everyone is in a place where it is heated, because this is not the day.
That's
Not
it.
at all.
Bring the
Not
dogs in
today.
the house. Don't leave them
Yes.
outside.
Nope.
Yes, got to make sure that furnace is right, because as of now, it is 15 degrees and the wind chill is at -2.
Stop it.
Crazy.
So again,
why we live here?
If you're getting
trying to figure that one out right now.
Why are we here?
Don't send me there, Jay. Don't send me there,
Okay.
because
just saying
I am not the happy Telly in wintertime. I was telling Ricky the other day, the older I get, the more grumpy I get, because around November, December.
Yes.
Yeah, it just, man, I need to at least just see the sun.
Come on. That would help.
Yeah, but anyway, we've been talking about since the election, black women are saying that they are really disappointed to a point where they just want to take a step back, because they feel like the fighting is just no point to it, and the only thing that's going to happen is you jeopardizing your own sanity. August hit us up, and we were talking about also what the Democratic Party could have done differently. And August says Megan Thee Stallion twerking wasn't the solution to reducing inflation and solving the border crisis.
No.
I think with that, what she was trying to reach out to the younger set, right, and get them to come to her rally in Atlanta. I think that was in Atlanta.
But how much of a coincidence is it, Bailey, that this 77-year-old man was able to get more young people votes than Kamala Harris, and she had all of these Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion.
She had more than that.
And if
she had Beyonce.
So if the point or the goal was in having these people were to reach a younger audience, they failed miserably. Clearly.
Well, I think she did okay with that, but you got to remember, Donald Trump has been running for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
She had 3 months.
Yeah. Hey.
I don't know. I watched some of them rallies with Donald Trump, and it was crazy, but
they were crazy.
It was why he brought Hulk Hogan in.
Oh, yeah?
But I I think we're going to find out as the years go by. There was something else going on. Yeah. My son's always like, Mom, don't get into the conspiracy theories. But we said that before, and then we found out how many years after he ran against Hillary that the Russians were helping him. Uh-huh. And that they were in our system doing stuff.
But, Bailey, you can't just come out and say, if I don't win, it's rigged.
No, that's true. But
that's what he said.
But that's what he said. But here's what I'm saying. Listen, I'm just saying, we looked back when Hillary lost, and you could see that they were in our system and they were doing stuff. And I think that may be what happened.
Well, we gonna see.
We will.
Well,
because time will reveal.
Now, Telly, you said something about how you just feel like America wasn't ready for a woman president.
Absolutely. You had a white one that tried in 2016, and you tried, a black one in 2024.
They said, wait a minute. We gave you a Supreme Court justice, and we gave you a VP.
So that's it. That's
all we can do right now. That's what they said.
Well, we'll see.
We can do right now.
We got Lana Banana on the lines. Lana Banana, good morning. What's your question or comment?
Morning. How's everyone doing besides cold?
Right.
Well,
okay.
Stay warm.
Man. Okay, I'm trying. Got dress in layers. But yes, Ms. Bailey Coleman, when you said that, as black women, we just got to sit back for these 4 years, I stand behind you. I walk behind you. I stand alongside you. I walk alongside you. I stand with you, and I'm walking with you, sister. And I'm going to walk with you. I'm with you. We got to focus on each other and ourselves. Mm-hmm. So we can't keep going into other people's affairs and trying to make them feel good and ignore us. It's time for us to focus on us and to concentrate on us and stand strong together as black women. Not women of color, as black women. Okay? That's all I want to say, because we can't be falling into the traps. I call them cowlicks. Because if you look at them, that's why their hair keep falling, because they're trying to cover them cowlicks, you know what I'm saying? So they ain't got no sense where their hair all up in a bun and trying to pull their hair back with them cowlicks. But that's why our hair stands strong, because we got a beautiful hairline. It's nice, you know what I'm saying? So we got to stand strong as our hair and let them fall like their hair do, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to be on top.
Yes.
I got you. All
right, girl.
I got you.
Thank you, Lana Banana. We appreciate the call. You too. Stay warm. We've been hitting up a lot of traffic and a lot of smoke on our talking text line, 833-212-1017. The caller says, all facts, Bailey. Actress Jennifer Lewis told Stephen A. Smith that we done bleeped up. Dan says, it ain't just black women. Black people need to take a step back as a whole, period. Let them drizzle, Snoop voice, continue to work on ourselves and our business. And finally, the caller hit us back and says, Telly, Bailey, Jay, more than 85% of black people voted against Trump. The fact that 10 million fewer people voted in 2024 versus 2020 had a greater impact on the outcome. There are people who falsely inflate the very small 2% increase of black male, not men, who voted for an orange maniac. Keep it locked right here on Truth Be Told. More after this.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call, That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call, That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com
SibrisPools.com for official contest rules.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice, it's a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom. It's a right to have a child. It's a right to not have children. And this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Sibris Pool Suites. Romantic, luxurious, affordable. A place where romance touches paradise and the memories of a lifetime are made. Sibris offers a variety of room styles, including the exquisite Chalet Suite, which spans 3 levels and features your own private swimming pool with cascading waterfall, soothing whirlpool tub, a cozy fireplace, and much more to make your stay unforgettable. They are located in Mequon, just north of Milwaukee. Take a virtual tour at Sibris.com.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has 13 Milwaukee area branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, let's get away and get a roll on the other side of town. Hey, shorty, I was feeling for you.
Truth Nation, we have teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business Give Back. Each quarter, we will be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. Visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That is blackbusinessgiveback.com to sign up today. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member FDIC. Man, I think this topic has really woke people up, Bailey, because the talk and text line, as well as our YouTube message board, is on fire. Let's get right back to our talk and text line.
Something, Bailey.
Yes, you have. But and you just had a caller that definitely is standing behind you and has your back. And we have, is this right, Ricky? Just another owl? All right, just another owl. You're on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey, and Jay. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on. The topic this morning is right on. And Bailey, thank you for taking the risk to jump down that rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. I know we don't like to go down rabbit holes, but isn't it something that before the election, everything was so close, but then afterwards, he just walks up so calmly and wins overwhelmingly that in years to come, we're going to find out that there was something else going on.
Right.
If it has to do with computers, if it has to do with, I don't know the technology.
Right.
But Elon Musk knew something long before the night was over because he got up and went home.
Yeah.
He knew Trump had won.
Yeah.
There's something undercover going on. Thank you. And before I leave, I just want to say one thing. I'm a fan of Al, and I'm 69 years old. I'm as afraid of. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that alone. Thank you very much for your time.
Stop there.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And that was probably a great decision. You know, sometimes if you gotta catch yourself, like, you know what, I might not need to do that. But
exactly.
Walk that back.
Just another Al. We appreciate your call and your comment. We really do. And Bailey, I think that with this type of topic, Al just brought up a great point. A lot of people don't want to talk about it.
Right.
A lot of people are just uncomfortable with it. But we have to know how we feel as a community before we move forward.
Exactly. I got to tell you, I had to stop watching TV. Because the topic, I had turned it off. 2 weeks. No social media, no TV, no nothing. Because, I mean, immediately after, my son wanted, because he's into politics and he always wants to discuss, right? I was like, I can't talk about it.
Yeah. And I can.
And that's unlike me, because I trained him, you know, when he was coming up. We talk about these things,
That's disappointment. It's
like,
for
"But
real
Mom,"
disappointment.
I was like, no.
You had to take some time away from that one.
Yeah. I can't do it.
And Marcus hit us up on our True Talking text line and says, okay, since she lost, there must be some cheating going on. Now, Marcus, I will respond to that by saying, heading in November 2nd, 3rd, even 4th, the polls had them neck and neck.
Yeah, it did.
49-48, 50-49, 51-49. And then, as soon as the election starts, half of the country is red when you look at it. Now, Democrats have never said anything about the election is rigged, let's check the poll workers, let's do this, let's do that. It's always been Republicans that have said, hey, the election was stolen from us in 2020. Let's make sure we have a legit election. But because the numbers turned out the way that the Republicans wanted it to, we didn't hear anything about the legitimacy of this election. So this election was perfect because Donald Trump won? Or what else? So I'm not saying that there's some cheating going on, Marcus, but I just want to know why Democrats can't ask questions that Republicans can.
Exactly.
That's the only thing.
I mean, here's the thing. Again, it was proven that we had Russian interference in that 2017 election with Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
It was proven.
Are they just not asking, though? Because, I mean, like, they have the opportunity. Anybody with a camera can get on and say, I believe it was rigged. I believe, what was they saying? That dead people voted?
Yep.
You know,
it was a bunch of stuff. None of that happened this year.
None of it. Right.
Come on. That's all I'm going to say. Now, if it was a perfect election, it was the first one since 2008.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, 2012, because there were no Russian interference in 2008 and in 2012 when President Obama was reelected. But all of a sudden in 2016, there's interference from other countries. And then it just went away? I don't know. Help me figure it out. Is it Alyssa? Alyssa, you are on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey, and Jay. Good morning. What's your question or comment? You need Alyssa on the line.
I think one of the main reasons that he won is because he talked about Bitcoin and crypto. And the Democrats were already putting a chokehold on crypto. But Kamala came out a little bit too late when she started to say that she would protect people's crypto investment. It was too late. They should have pushed it a long time ago. And when Trump came out and talked about crypto and going into the Bitcoin conference, and you see what happened when he won. Crypto just shot up to the moon, and then yesterday we made history. So I think that was one of the biggest mistakes, because a lot of young people are into crypto and digital and metaverse and et cetera. So that's one of the biggest reasons, I think.
Yes, thank you for your call, and you're right. I mean, that really does factor into a lot of it.
I gotta agree with her. Like, you look at what's happening in the crypto world right now, and everything is on fire. Money is coming in. He's got a cabinet that he's putting in place that is pro crypto. They are pro putting some regulations in. Elon Musk is going to be running half the government, it sounds like. He's got several coins of his own that he's publicizing. I can't argue with her. You see more young people investing through that area than you do any other space.
Yes. Miss Rose, good morning. You are on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey, and Jay. What's your question or comment?
Yes, I'm calling because I feel that many times there were so many things that caused the changing of this whole election. Number one, we black people, basically male and female, did a part of the destruction of it by overemphasizing the physical characteristics, which in our society, being white, basically controlled those who had planned to vote keep changing accordingly. That's why we in Wisconsin, when we had a black woman running for Secretary of State, the people didn't know that she wasn't even a woman, that they thought she was a white man, until because of the name they used. There's a psychology to when you push out information about a blackness and then challenge the color and challenge the things that have nothing to do with the election, and also the fact that women are already thought as being subjected to men, and when you push all these other things, that also has a thing to change the way people think. What they might have started in the beginning, they change it after that. Oh, she's black. Oh, she's the first. That was part of the cause of changing people in the white community, especially. That they need to understand the psychology of how people think. Don't push the negative. Push that things that count. And that did not happen. And you're right. The Democratic Party also didn't counteract a lot of the negative things that were coming out regarding the transgender, and all this other stuff.
Thank you so much, Miss Rose. We appreciate your call, and you're right. We were talking about that before the show started.
Right,
so
right.
yes, and then some of those things that the Democratic Party could have combated or just really, done a better job of controlling that narrative. And keep the messages, keep the text messages, keep the calls coming in. Truth Nation 833-212-1017. And again, you can always stream and watch us live on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. I wanted to move on, but Truth Nation has spoken. They want to continue the conversation, and we'll do that in the second hour. Keep it locked right here on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey Coleman, Jay English in the building. We will be back after this.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you tired of yo-yo dieting? This is Dr. Williams, Chief Scientific Officer at Invite Health, and we hear from people every day struggling to lose weight. We know that our powerful blend of clinically studied nutrients and probiotic HX Weight can help. Probiotic HX Weight is your best tool to target that stubborn belly fat and get the results you've been wanting. In a 12-week study, Bifidobacterium breve B3, a powerful probiotic, along with Bergason FF, a blend of artichoke and bergamot extract, were shown to significantly drop body fat. Order Probiotic HX Weight today and receive a second bottle free. That's right, call now to order Probiotic HX Weight today and get a second bottle free. 800-784-1987. That's 800-784-1987. Call now for Probiotic HX Weight and get a second bottle free. Includes free shipping and a bonus bottle of vitamin C. Call now, 800-784-1987. That's 800-784-1987.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Vice President Kamala Harris.
Talk with your listeners to remind them of their power and the importance of voting. And the folks in Milwaukee turned out for me and Joe Biden in 2020. You showed what was possible.
U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, are you a racist?
Absolutely not.
Is Donald Trump a racist?
Absolutely not. No.
And civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump.
Thank you all for speaking truth to power. That's the most important thing, because right now there are those in our community who would rather we just be quiet.
Right.
We have to disturb the peace now more than ever.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I push through all the challenges.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to Truth Be Told with Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm not sure of what I see. You don't with me. Are you telling me this is a sign? She's looking in my eyes.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're just joining us, welcome to Truth Be Told with Telly. We have Bailey Coleman, Jay English in the building on this Friday Junior. And if you're just getting up and getting about, make sure you take an extra 10, 15 minutes to warm that car up, because it is cold outside. And I've been saying it all morning, and I will continue to say it. Make sure you stay safe. Don't be cheap. Turn that heat up if you do have heat. If you don't have heat, try to get to a heating center, because it is very dangerous to be in a house or anywhere that doesn't have heat on a day like this. Absolutely. Again, check on your neighbors, check on your friends, your family, your elderly that are in your community. Make sure everyone is good, because you can freeze out there today, literally. It is right now 15 degrees with a -2 wind chill, so I pay attention to the wind chill, because that's how it feels.
Thank you. I don't care what the other one is.
Right. You know, you could tell me 15, but I'm not feeling 15. That's right. So, but so far, we've been having a really good discussion going this morning. We've been talking about the feelings and reaction of black women deciding to take a step back after what has been a very disappointing and exhausting outcome that has, quite frankly, seemed like it has taken a lot out of them in terms of their fight. And Bailey brought up something
no energy whatsoever.
Early in the show. Brought up something earlier in the show that people forgot about. And when Donald Trump was elected the first time, there was a women's march on Washington in 2017 because of the way that they felt the president at that time viewed women. Mm-hmm. And now you come back 2024, 7 years later, and it's the same feeling after the fact that a lot of women voted for him.
Yeah.
Especially white women.
Yeah. Remember they had those little hats
Yes.
Little pink hats.
Yeah. I remember that. Dante hit us up on our True Talking text line and says, let's lay the blame where it needs to lie. The Democratic Party take care of other people, other races, before they take care of the black male. As an independent voter, the Democratic Party laid out nothing to appease the black men. Neither did the Republican Party, but the migration issue, how they took care of migrants and the forcing of gay issues on us was the demise in essence. The silent majority spoke wasn't a black issue.
I don't know, because Kamala came out with a whole agenda for the black man.
Right.
Like a whole agenda that she put together specifically to try to entice us.
Let's be real. There was a whole double standard for her. That people were demanding things of her, like, for example, the fact that they wanted her to come out with that whole agenda for black men that they weren't putting towards Donald Trump. They wasn't asking him for all that.
That's very true. They both were. We established that they both were held to different standards. They were both. They had different rules, and as one person said, one candidate can be lawless, and the other one has to be flawless.
Exactly. I mean, for real, you think about we have elected a president that has 34 counts. We've elected a president convicted of 34 counts.
Felony.
We've elected someone who has in his background a civil suit that he lost for rape. We've got all type of things in his background, and then you look at it and say, our country is saying we're okay with this.
Yeah. Well, Jay, the only thing that I would push back about the black agenda, I don't think that was specifically for the black men, because if you go and look back at that agenda, how many of those things apply to you?
And a lot of them did not apply to me.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking, because I just felt like that was kind of a smoking mirror to say, hey, let's put something out there for black men to feel like if you vote for me, this is what I'm going to do for you. Because I'm not buying my first house. I'm not going to get the $25,000 that she talked about. I'm not going to get the child tax, whatever she was trying to do. And I looked at that list. I was just like, I'm a black man and none of this applies to me. So I felt like that was kind of just something to throw out there to say, we are thinking about y'all, but in essence, that was a plan that would help most black people, not just specifically black men. So that was the problem that I had with that so-called black men's agenda, because I was just like, none of this really applies to me.
But again, she shouldn't have had to do that, though.
Well, yeah.
Well, somebody talked her into it because she put a name on it.
She did.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Like, if it comes out in your name, you approved it somewhere.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody come out as a presidential candidate and put out an agenda for a specific, culture of people, specifically for a male group. I've never seen that before. But I think at that point they was doing all they could to try to shift what they were seeing. We're not going to win the amount that we thought we were.
Right.
Yeah. And Marcus hit us up and says, let's be clear. She said she would do nothing different from Biden, and most Americans are not happy with Biden. I think that was very detrimental to her campaign when she did not separate herself from Joe Biden.
The only thing that they're upset with Joe Biden about is the economy, or what they feel is a bad economy. The grocery stores, the inflation situation.
But that's a lot.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, can we give him credit? More of y'all would have died if he wouldn't have came into office, him and Kamala. That man, while Donald Trump may have been in office when they created the COVID vaccine, he didn't know how to get it to anybody. So more people were dying like flies.
Yeah, but people have short memories, baby.
Yeah, they do that.
Short memories. People are focused on what's happening now, not he saved these lives.
Right.
Yeah, they're not.
But he took millions of kids, black kids, out of poverty.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that did happen that were good. in his administration.
And
but
I
guess
100%
what?
agree with
if
that.
if people are mad, if they were mad about the price of eggs, they're mad about wait. Just wait.
You said wait. But I think
Just
she had an opportunity, no different than anybody who has a boss or somebody else. Like, I feel like we all are going to have ideas of something we would want to do different, something that we would like to see done. She had an opportunity and she never explained any of that.
At the same time, I think that the way the Democratic Party handled the transition between her and him and all that, I think it was messy because I think some of the people that would have voted for her, like the Teamsters and some of those unions, they didn't. But they backed Joe Biden. And they didn't because she was trying to distance herself, and that could have made the difference. So there's a lot of things to be said. It did make a difference.
I think she lost some people. Like, that was on The View when she did that, when she was like, I wouldn't do anything different.
But
you got to do something different.
Well, and clearly if people are thinking things would have been different. However, what I'm saying to you is the way she didn't come together with Joe Biden, the way he just faded to the background to let her do her thing, that was the wrong move. Because, what was it, the Teamsters decided not to endorse a presidential candidate?
Yeah, and that was the first time in a long time.
And they were down with Joe Biden.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if she would have done more with her relationship with him.
Like what? I mean, and I want you to answer this after we get to this call, but what could she have done differently in terms of enhancing her relationship with him? Because here's the thing, you have a lot of Americans unhappy with Joe Biden, but you also have a lot of people that are saying that he's too old, he should step aside. And so you're going to continue to encourage that. But before you answer, let's get to Marlon real quick. Marlon, you are on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey, and Jay. Good morning. What's your question or comment?
So I think, first of all, I think it's really interesting we're asking how black women feel and their upsetness, but we keep talking about black men, so it really shows the patriarchy in our society. We got to also remember that Kamala Harris being a black woman, I don't think she would have made it through the primary if she would have ran. She was a black woman who was placed in front of us, and people had to decide if they were going to vote for her or not. I believe it was more of a social experiment to see what the heck was going to happen. If people could get behind a black woman, if people could get behind a woman. So I think that part of it as well is we can't forget she did not run in the primary. Joe Biden won the primary. He got bumped out, and she just got placed in there. So she's coming in behind already. Anyway, and then the last thing, I think you already said it, is if white women were so concerned with reproductive rights and all that kind of stuff, the clip that they voted for Donald Trump is still higher than any other demographic there. And let's be honest, white people are scared that they're about to become the minority ethnicity in this country, so they have to vote for whatever is in their benefit. A black woman isn't in their benefit. A white man is.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Marlon. We appreciate the call and good points. And Bailey, going back to what Madam Vice President could have done differently to enhance that relationship, what do you think she could have done?
Some of those multiple trips that she took to Philadelphia, she could have had him with her. There are more, all those big union states, she could have took him there with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the types of things that you do. You use those people and you ask, that's how you should have support from, those people. She really should have brought President Obama back here to Milwaukee. And when I say to Milwaukee, she should have did what he did. He went to North Division. It was people standing outside
Yeah, but here's the thing also too with that, Bailey. I know because you were on that while it was going on. Like she should be more in the inner city and more where blacks.
About that
but
day.
we also still have to consider the fact that over 90,000 eligible voters, black voters, did not vote in Milwaukee this year.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying she should have
do you think that would have changed it?
Yes, I do. I really do. And you bring your advocates that you know people love. You bring President Obama one here every time he ran. Bring him in here. Bring him with you.
Yeah.
Come on in here.
But he already had called out black men about voting.
When he came here the last time when he was running, he said, y'all get Pookie and Ray Ray and all them. Y'all know everybody. Get them to come out and vote. And they did.
I don't know if that would have worked this time, baby.
You know what?
Not 90,000. Maybe a few thousand, but 90,000 people decided not to vote. That's a lot of people not voting and could have made a difference. The caller, you're on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey, and Jay. Good morning. What's your question or comment?
Well, comment is $17 billion for HBCUs is specifically black. And so since the other side likes to give her credit for being in office, that is specifically black as you can get because you get judges, 40% of them, a large percentage of our doctors and lawyers. I was just listening to somebody talking about how their grandson sees nothing but black professionals in his life because he lives in a black suburb in Milwaukee where his doctors are black, his teachers are black in his school, and he sees nothing but black success based on intentional choices by his parents. And most of those people that we get come from that. So this whole narrative about what she could have done, what she didn't do was be born a white man. A white man with her qualifications would be president today, and so that is much bigger than all the minuscule things that we could pick apart about who did what, and the separation where there are two sets of rules is an example of Jim Crowism. Isn't that exactly what Jim Crowism was? White men have way more rights than everybody else, which was given to Donald Trump in this election. So if she were Moses and split Lake Michigan and walked on water and still a black person and a woman, she would have lost this election. So going forward, what I've heard that's encouraging to me is that states like California have allotted $300 million to litigate against many of the things that Donald Trump intends to do. And so instead of looking backward, we got to look forward. You know, we can pick apart a lot of things and never be accurate. But what Thurgood Marshall showed us is when you get them in front of judges and the judges are required to uphold the Constitution, either they're going to shred it or they're not. And I know Denise is, hopefully she's listening. I would encourage most of us to try to be like her and be global citizens because that's exactly what the colonists have done throughout the history of this country. They use it for their benefit, and then they go make money everywhere else throughout the world. So that's the seeds that we should be planting, and we should start like Black History in December during Kwanzaa and push that for our kids to not have loyalty to something that doesn't have loyalty to you. Utilize it for your benefit. God bless y'all.
Thank you so much, the caller. Al was giving props on our YouTube message board to the caller, said, tell it, the caller. And the caller just told it. We'll have reactions from some of the things the caller just said. DVJ, we see you. We're going to get to you as soon as we get back on the other side of the break. Keep it locked right here on Truth Be Told with Telly.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
People will tell you that race is a social construct and that there's no biological reality that distinguishes between a white individual and a Black individual. So what does that mean if there are these quote-unquote disparities, right? It means that the way we move through a society is markedly different, right? And that the experience that we have has biological consequences. Is when you're in a society where people are constantly discriminating against a certain group, denying access, don't have control over the institutions that govern our lives. All of those things create a biological reality and a response, whether it's a stress hormone or a fear or something that could be passed on, what we call epigenetics, which means what my mother or my grandmother experienced had an effect on what formed me in my responses to those stressors. That's how we can be two individual people with very little difference, but have totally, vastly different experiences as we move through our reproductive health.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey Milwaukee! Everyone's favorite holiday tradition, Black Nativity by Langston Hughes, returns for its 9th annual musical production celebrating the power of the Black family. It runs for one weekend only, from December 5th through the 8th at Market Center's Wilson Theater. So grab your family and your friends and join us downtown for a holiday classic like you've never seen before. Get your Black Nativity tickets today at blackartsmke.org. That's blackartsmke.org. See you there.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, we have big news. Mark your calendars for Friday, February 28th, as we will be hosting our first annual Truth Community Awards, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. We will honor the excellence in our community and recognize the quiet warriors creating extraordinary impacts. Tickets go on sale soon, and you do not want to miss this night of inspiration and celebration. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 28th at the Truth Community Awards, presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. As we welcome you back to Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey Coleman, Jay English in the building, and DVJ, thank you for being patient. You are on Truth Be Told with Telly. Good morning. What's your question or comment?
Good morning, Telly. Good morning, Ms. Coleman. And good morning, Jay.
Hey,
Is that
good
right?
morning. Good morning. Yes, sir.
Good morning. Peace and blessings to y'all. So I'll make mine quick. So I don't think, well, I agree with the caller when he was just saying, you know, basically people didn't support Kamala, you know, because of race. So that's the main thing for me, is that simple. And then the other thing, the area where I feel that she could have did better, though, I feel like she was speaking to the middle class a little too much. I know it's a lot of middle-class people, you know what I'm saying, in our country, but it's a ton of poor people, too, that she didn't speak to. Like, people need to get up there and just be like, I'm going to help the poor. black, brown, white, I've never heard a candidate. It's like they're afraid of that word.
Yeah.
Because white people don't want to hear that. Because when white voters hear that, they hear a black candidate talking about helping black poor people and brown poor people. You know what I'm saying? They're flag. That's a red flag to white people because they consider that a handout. Anytime black people talk about helping black people, they consider that a handout. And now you got to worry about getting voted in and winning. So she had to deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff in the pudding is in the proof. We've had 46 white presidents. So that tells you all you need to know right there. And just the last thing for me, one thing that was really bothering me about this election thing, when I heard the black Europeans or black Republicans sitting there talking about how Democrats were fear-mongering them into voting for Kamala, that's BS. They're upset because we are asking, because what they were doing is unnatural and unnormal to support a racist candidate. That's unnatural and it's unnormal. So for us 90%, we're asking, we're hollering at y'all like, hey, what are y'all doing? And for y'all to say it's fair, y'all were acting, not you, I'm saying the black Republicans were acting like Democrats were running up on them, threatening and stuff to beat them up and all this. Fear, what is that? Yeah, that word was kind of bothering me.
Yeah.
I didn't like that too much. We were just asking, like, why are y'all doing this? Hey, what's up? Listen to us, 90%. You 10% want to be rebels, but in reality, you're irrelevant.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right. Appreciate the call, DVJ. Great points there. And another thing that I want to point out is how you can be manipulated during this, during presidential cycles. And Jay, you were talking about how when you spoke to, black men who were voting for Trump, the main thing they were talking about was the economy, right?
Absolutely. Talking about the economy and business.
Yes. Okay. And the price of eggs are $20 and this, that, and the other, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you still have, let me remember. Starbucks hasn't gone bankrupt or anything, have they?
Oh, no, they're not going to.
Okay. So we can afford $9 coffees, but, oh, man, eggs are $10. We ain't about to do that. I mean, make it make sense, man. Like, so do you think that this person is going to get in office and just instantly inflation is going to go down and money is going to go in your pockets? Eventually, inflation is going to go down anyway, regardless of who's in office. But you really think this person who could care less about you is going to look out for you? That's just something that I it's hard for me to understand. And so the other thing that Jay, that I know I definitely wanted to touch on was the fact that we talked about the black men or the black man agenda that Madam Vice President allegedly had. But if you look at any of the elections, the black man really hasn't played that big of a difference in it. Or at least we haven't been told that.
I was about to say, that's what they would love for us to believe, that we haven't played any role.
Like, we haven't played any role. And then even if you go back to 2020, you will hear a lot of black women that said, we got Biden in there.
Right.
Right? Correct?
Right.
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay. So there are a lot of narratives around black men as a whole, not just from the political standpoint, but I think a lot of things that truly are just stereotypes that will never go away.
Yeah. I think
so,
that too.
Not true.
Yeah. And so I want to play a clip, but before I do, I'm going to go ahead and get Tony from Tulsa in, and then afterwards I will play that clip so you can get a better understanding of some of the narratives that are so untrue and we can't control, and how the system is set up and designed for us to go against each other. But Tony from Tulsa, you're on Truth Be Told with Telly. Good morning. What's your question or comment?
Good morning. So I just wanted to add in, this is the thing that actually kind of frustrates me the most, is that our community, and not just our community, I think Americans are one of the most propagandized people in the world, because we see that shiny object and then don't look behind the object, what is really going on. So, for example, the caller was like, oh, well, we can sit here and say, oh, she didn't get elected because she was a person of color. One, and we got to get off this, that she was a black woman. She's not. And that's the thing. One of the things that gets me the most is that, oh, she was a black woman. She wasn't black. She's Indian and Irish. That's it. And it's just from her heritage. And I'm like, oh, well, her dad was from Jamaica. There's Chinese people in Jamaica. There's a white Irish people in Jamaica. And that's where her family came from. So let's get off that notion. And she also said, and I'm not a Trump supporter. Y'all know this. I am a complete independent. And so she said that she wasn't going to do anything specifically for black people, but the East Asian people she gave $43 billion to. So she showed us who she was. She just ran a poor campaign. It was a mix between the Biden people that she had in her campaign and the Clinton people that she had in her campaign. If she really wanted to win, it only could take 100 days. You blew $1.5 billion in 100 days and just didn't know what to do with it. Give me that money. I'll show you exactly what you do with it. I'll go to those counties. Like, for example, they had the internal poll that they just released that she wasn't leading at all in any poll. And so they were surprised, like, how's NBC saying this? How's CNN saying this? So what we need to do is realize that this whole thing is all baked into the system. We're in a system of white supremacy, and not just to blame it all on white supremacy. So as Malcolm X has told us before, it's the sheep and the wolf. So what we got to focus on is ourselves. We have to bring our community up, not worried about who else outside is going to help us or whatever like that. If you want, as the infamous Benny Siegel say, you either get down or lay down. So if you're not here to help us, move on. Keep it moving. So we need to come together as a community, especially in Milwaukee, where they're not cohesive, and it's like, oh, let me just look out for myself instead of looking out as a whole. We can do this together as we used to have, but they've separated us, thinking that, oh, I'm above this, I'm above the fray. Remember the communities that we used to have, the North Carolinas, the Floridas, the Rosewoods, the Tulsas, all of that stuff that we used to have because we were a cohesive community. But we don't have that. So, and when we let these blue-leg people get in there, and then they told us, and they knew that was the best way to get us. And I'm gonna land my plane with this. So they even had a system to a key in the '60s, how to sell to black people. You can look this up on YouTube. It's really interesting how they studied us, and so how they studied us to separate us. And we come into this category trying to be like the white supremacists in the system, but don't understand that we're being manipulated. And I'll land my plane with that.
Thank you very much, Tony from Tulsa. We appreciate that. And that leads us right to where we were going anyway, because a lot of those things definitely play into narratives, the way people think about us as a community, and specifically as black men, because we started the show talking about how black women are tired, they feel like they can't catch a break, tired of fighting these same battles, and a lot more often than not, that leaves a lot of black men in this gray area. We are just constantly feeling like we're kind of left out at times, because there's specific things, like when's the last time there's been a specific law or something that was beneficiary to the black man? And so you create these narratives, and this is something I came across, and is a very interesting conversation, and it has a lot to do with narratives, and this is one of the narratives of black men. But listen to it all the way to the end, and then you will see where we're going with this at the very end. Go ahead and play it, Ricky.
That we hear about black men.
They don't get married.
No, they don't like who?
Oh, they don't like black women. Well, yeah.
The national average for black men who are married, what are they married to?
It's got to be black women.
Black women at what percentage? Over 85%. But it don't matter, though, because once they make money, that's when they go get white women.
White women, yeah.
The national average for making over $200,000, black men, right? How many of those men are married to black women?
I'll give him about a cool
95%.
95? I believe it. I do believe it. And then when you hear the horror stories, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen. Girl.
Lex has a good point, though, because they'll show the Scottie Pippen, right? And they'll say, look, this is how black men behave.
Yeah.
But that's not the fact. Destroying the black family has been on the forefront of the mind of the people who created this country. How do you destroy the black wealth in this country?
Yeah.
Destroy the black family. Make black women think that black men don't love them. Make black men think that black women don't respect them. That's all a fallacy. It's not true. The older I get, I'm 40 years old now, the more I realize that everything I've learned from mass media has been programmed by people who have an agenda. It's a narrative that we hear about black.
We definitely going to get reaction from that after the break. But like I said, again, listen to the end and look at how the system is designed to put us against each other. And unless we figure out a way that is not what is going to be a successful plan moving forward, we're always going to be hindered by it. Keep it locked right here on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey Coleman, and Jay English. More after the break.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Sometimes it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And at Vin Baker Recovery, they understand the power of having real support while you're on that journey to recovery. This is why at Vin Baker Recovery, they customize treatment plans specific for your needs. Vin Baker Recovery provides our community and anyone looking for help with access to mental health care and recovery support, helping you treat addiction. So whether opioid abuse, alcohol, or other controlled substances, Vin Baker Recovery helps you get back to the lifestyle that you know will be the best option for your future. Vin Baker Recovery offers licensed counseling and therapy services to curb the mental health problems that have been impacting our communities for far too long. They provide services like medication-assisted treatment, outpatient care, and hub and spoke services with peer support. So what are you waiting for? Vin Baker Recovery accepts walk-ins and appointments. It's just that easy. Just visit VinBakerRecovery.com. That's VinBakerRecovery.com. They're here to help you win the day.
Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration, comes to the Bradley Symphony Center for one night only on December 7th. Get your tickets now to experience lots of your favorite seasonal music the gospel way. Emmy Award-nominated composer and conductor Adrian Dunn leads the Adrian Dunn Singers and the Rise Orchestra in a festive mix of soulful arrangements that are sure to fill you with hope and peace. With drums, guitars, tambourines, and plenty of hallelujahs, this festive concert promises to take the entire audience to church and beyond. Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration runs December 7th only. For tickets and more information, visit mso.org or call 414-291-7605.
It's almost Christmas, and Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive event is this Saturday in Grafton.
Come enjoy the holidays with us and WTMJ as we collect toys for families in need this season.
There will be musical performances and a fun tribute for the Ozaukee County first responders.
And don't forget to bring toys.
Help us make a difference this Christmas. Visit kidstoKidstoydrive.com.
See you this Saturday in Grafton.
Whether you're dropping your kids off to school or driving to see the in-laws, don't let your car care take a back seat this busy holiday season. Protect your car against salt, rust, and grime at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with state-of-the-art tunnels, free vacuums, and more. Try their new state-of-the-art T2 with graphene wash for the longest-lasting mirror-like shine. Your first wash is free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com.
We still have issues out on the road. First of all, on southbound 43, right about at Keefe, we got an accident off on the right shoulder. Another one on eastbound 94, right at Mitchell Boulevard. Tow truck's just about ready to pull away, so hopefully that'll be gone sooner rather than later. We do have delays, though, from 76th Street through the stadium. And then we also have a crash on westbound 94, just past Moreland Road. It's almost at Calhoun, off on the left shoulder. So delays stretching all the way back past Highway 100 to that point. Eastbound also slowing down from Barker Road all the way through to about Calhoun. And then northbound 41 backed up from Blue Mound Road up past North Avenue. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, windy, cold, a high of 29. Tonight, partly cloudy, chilly with a low of 15. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with Telly on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Good morning, Truth Nation. It is 8:37, and it is Friday, Thursday, December 5th, and it is cold, and make sure that you stay warm.
Please.
But
It is so cold.
But we got a hot topic going on right now, and
Yes,
we
we do.
definitely have had.
Warm it up.
Yes.
I'm about to.
Yes. We've been talking about, at first, we were talking about black women taking a step back after the election and feeling exhausted. But we have transitioned into the narrative around black men as well, because, again, women can feel any kind of way they want in terms of the outcome of the election and the disappointment. But then where does that blame and where does that frustration start to turn towards? And again, we feel like, or I do, a lot of the narratives that are out there, just even down to what black men want to do or who they marry once they are successful, a lot of them are lies that have been repeated over and over and over.
For a long time.
Yes. And we have Jay on the line. Let's get to Jay, and I want to play that clip again, Ricky. But Jay, you on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey, and Jay. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're on live. Good morning.
Oh, sorry. All right, so, yeah, to make a great point of everything you just said, how, you know, people really just took advantage of just, I guess, the toxic relationships and bad habits that just festered here. You know, he took advantage of the technology, social media, and sensationalism. It was like reality TV and suspense. Like, I won't say too much about, you know, my opinion on that, but so that's how he was able to appeal to the younger crowd. You know, you got this woman who doesn't seem too thrilled to be, you know, doing what she's doing, talking the way she's talking. She's not separating herself from, like, you know, this old white guy. So, you know, that was a turn off. And, you know, the fact that she said she wasn't going to do much for people. But then it also comes down to, like, why people, and you're going to understand Tory a lot more because as people start to understand this, because it's almost the cool thing to be mean to to be cruel to black people now. You know what I mean? Like, you see this everywhere. The younger generation, you know, they don't have a lot of respect for the older generation. They don't have understanding. The older generation has frustration and resentment towards the younger generation. Like, you know, even if you listen to Dr. Ken talk, you know, he's kind of like got some old school views and values, and, you know, he kind of recants and, like, you know, changes his opinion sometimes. I don't know if he's just trying to be cool or if, you know, he put some thought into it and is conflicting with habit. But as you see, like, you know, you're going to see why people would vote for Trump, because people are already living the lives. They are loving the life that they are living, and this is that reality that Trump is presenting.
All right, thank you for your call, Jay. We appreciate it. Yeah, I think time, he hasn't even been inaugurated yet. So
Okay.
Right.
I think time will tell to see how good people's lives are once he is officially the president, the 47th president of the United States. He's still just the elect, but I don't know if everybody is going to just walk into this promised land once January 20th.
Because they're going to start deporting people on, what day is his inauguration?
The 20th.
The 20th? Okay. The 21st, they're going to start deporting people. We're going to see how great that is.
Man, oh, man. But going back to the clip that we played with the exchange of one black man and two black women, and he was just really dissecting the numbers that a lot of people don't know. Ricky, go ahead and play it again, because, again, at the very end, he says something extremely powerful that I know we deal with on a daily basis in our community.
Narrative that we hear about black men.
They don't get married.
No, they don't like who?
Oh, they don't like black women.
Well, yeah.
The national average for black men who are married, what are they married to?
It's got to be black women.
Black women at what percentage? Over 85%. But it don't matter, though, because once they make money, that's when they go get white women.
White women, yeah.
The national average for making over $200,000, black men, right? How many of those men are married to black women?
I'll give him about a cool
95%.
95? I believe it. I do believe it. And then when you hear the horror stories, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen. Girl.
Lex has a good point, though, because they'll show the Scottie Pippen, right? And they'll say, look, this is how black men behave. Yeah. But that's not the fact. Destroying the black family has been on the forefront of the mind of the people who created this country. How do you destroy the black wealth in this country?
Yeah.
Destroy the black family. Make black women think that black men don't love them. Make black men think that black women don't respect them. That's all a fallacy. It's not true. The older I get, I'm 40 years old now, the more I realize that everything I've learned from mass media has been programmed by people who have an agenda. It's a narrative that we...
It's definitely an agenda that's out there, and it's
absolutely,
yeah. And when you have just that one disagreement where black women don't think black men respect them, and black women think black men don't love them or like them or want to be with them, who do you think sit back and watch them fight? Watch us fight?
Yeah, it ain't us.
It ain't us.
It ain't us.
And they know, again, destroying the black family is how you destroy wealth, because when we have masses and we have unity, we can do anything, and everyone else knows that. But if you break us up, if you take the black man out of the house and you know, give him a charge that and send him to jail, or then that's one way to break up the family. There's so many ways to break us up, because you don't do something unless it's affecting you. Meaning, if I'm in another community and I look back and say, and I look over at the black community and say, I know if they got together, they could be powerful, but let's make sure that doesn't happen. And let's continue to do what we've been doing. And I just thought that statement was so powerful, outside of the narratives that we know that aren't true, but a lot of society don't know that's not true. And Bailey, you even said, after hearing it a second time, you're like, wow. Yeah. So again, these narratives play a lot into our mindsets and the psychology that not just amongst us, but other communities are looking at and weaponizing ourselves against us.
Well, it creates a perception of who we are, and that's not based on what we actually do, how we actually speak, our education level. It takes all of that out of the boat, and it says, I'm just looking at you based on this media perception I've been given through music, through movies, through YouTube, through what we see on the award shows and everything else, and makes us this monolith where that represents all of black culture.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the scary part for me, when you see that people think black men are not great fathers, that we're not involved with our kids. But when you look at statistics, you realize we're some of the most involved fathers out of all the cultures.
Yep, sure are. Yeah, and I look at these narratives, and then it constantly puts us against each other, because you have a lot of black women that are disappointed, 92% that are disappointed that Madam Vice President Kamala Harris was not elected, and more importantly, she didn't get the support of black men. Exactly. And so as a black woman, you hear, man, these brothers going to go and vote for Donald Trump. How does that make you feel? You must not like us.
Exactly.
You must not love black women.
Exactly.
Because you're going to go. And so what does that do?
But why don't we hear that about the Hispanics population? Why don't we hear that about the Asian population or whoever voted? We don't hear
any of that
about the men and the women being pitted against each other in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's true.
But in our community, that's exactly what happens, because the only thing they did was throw logs on that flame that was already burning,
exactly.
That frustration flame that was burning, and then it's like, oh, so we can't do this all by ourselves. If you're a black woman, we can't do this all by ourselves, and so when we need some support from the brothers, we can't even get it.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
some garbage.
That creates more tension between black women and black men. And so, because as a black man, there's a very small percentage of black men that I know voted for Trump. Let's be real. But I'm also clumped in this group of people that did, because that's the only thing you heard.
Right.
Well, there had to be some black men that voted for him.
Right.
And so, you know, I just can't assume that no black men voted for him.
Right.
And then again, that adds to the tension between black men and black women further.
Yeah.
It doesn't help it.
Not at all.
At the very least.
No, and it creates that perception amongst other cultures that are looking at us to say, look at how split and divided they are even within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just furthers that as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's just, and then again, you constantly hear those narratives that you just got some amazing stats that shows you and tells you those perceptions that you've had for all these years aren't the case anymore.
That's right.
Maybe at one point in time, yes, that's what it was. That you would definitely see that. But nowadays, to be honest, I think there are more black women marrying white men than black men marrying white women.
That's true.
But that's a whole nother show, a whole nother time.
You gonna light up something else?
Okay.
Yeah, man. So, but we are going to step aside for our final break. Keep it locked right here on Truth Be Told with Telly, Bailey Coleman, Jay English in the building. We're back with our Truth of the Matter.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice is a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom. It's a right to have a child. It's a right to not have children. And this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has 13 Milwaukee area branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
I'm attorney David Gruber. We've helped injured Wisconsinites for more than 30 years. Trust our hometown team to get you back in the game. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it is that time for our Truth of the Matter, where we give our takeaways from some of the topics that we have been discussing. But before we get to Bailey's Truth of the Matter, Aramore on our Truth Talking text line said, had black men overall vote for Kamala, she still would have lost. We are a voting bloc, but it isn't that big to where we turn elections and probably never will be. Great call. There's not a lot of black men that are out there. But although we had just elected someone with 34 felony counts, maybe more black people that have felonies can now vote. Now that you could become president, but nonetheless, you are right. There aren't that many black men out there that's going to probably turn or flip an election or a specific state. Bailey Coleman, what is your truth of the matter?
My truth of the matter is, for the next 4 years, I'm going to be chilling. I am going to be hydrated. I'm going to drink my water. And to the guy that said that Kamala Harris's daddy ain't black, he black. He Jamaican black. There's pictures.
Yeah, he black.
Just Google. Yeah, he black. He black. There you go. Bliggity black.
Jay English, what is your truth of the matter?
My truth of the matter is that men deserve, especially black men, deserve more respect and admiration than I think we get. The perception that is out there of us, I'm going to advise you, don't believe what the media is trying to feed you. Don't believe everything you hear as far as music and on award shows and some of this other craziness. Black men are out here making it happen. We are working hard. We are loving our families. We are building businesses. We are doing the best we can to make this world a better place for those we're responsible for. Shout out to the black men out here.
That's a good truth of the matter, Jay. My truth of the matter is unity. Nothing's going to happen unless we come together. And when you constantly have these different things that other communities are throwing into our community to turn ourselves against each other, we're never going to get anywhere. So we have to somehow unify and collectively come up with a plan and agenda that is going to benefit us all, not just specific black. There's not enough black people around to have differences between black men and black women, period. So in order for us to not constantly subscribe to the narratives that others are putting on our community, the quicker we will be able to move in a better direction. So thank you, Bailey Coleman. Thank you, Jay English. It's been a good show, and we're going to do it again tomorrow. Up next is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Peace out.
This is 1017 The Truth's Sherwin Hughes, and I am Milwaukee. This show has meant so much to me because it's an opportunity for me to express my thoughts and my feelings to my community, and for my community to express those same thoughts and feelings right back to me. Milwaukee means a lot to me. I was born here, raised here, educated here, and I am committed to making this a better city. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
Horizon League Conference play has arrived. On Thursday night, the Milwaukee Panthers host conference foe, the Cleveland State Vikings.
8 seconds, Fultz. Screen Pippa White. 5. Corner left. Lovelace with 4. Johnny drives with 2. With 1. Puts up a spinner. And he gets the bounce. Panthers by 1. 5 seconds left in the half.
Scott Warris has the coverage Thursday starting at 6:30 p.m. on 101.